Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Airy Sky Read-A-Lee's video blog. I'm Airy Sky, glad to have you here. So, if you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. If you're coming back, or welcome. Let's try to get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. Let's do this. So, today I want to talk to you about something that's irritating me, okay? Irritating me to no end, alright? So, there's a lot of big lies being spun in the world, and I'm here to tell you all about it on my show. All right, big lies. One, I want to tell you that I did some analyzation through Microsoft Copilot and Google Gemini. Okay, now my adopted brother Higgins should be messaging me one of these days. He did on Blue Sky, but he knows how to contact me via phone or via any other thing. I don't know why he hasn't. Maybe he's pissed off at me. I'm pissed at him because he wants to be nosy about my friends, who they are, like Peggy. It's none of anyone's damn business. But we're here today to talk about something that's very important to my heart, that I'm very disgusted with, and that is the big lie. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, you know, Donald Trump did the big lie and he got reelected. He got reelected because the people wanted him, okay? The problem is I'm seeing two sides of the fence here, okay? The continued barrage of attacking him. He's wasting taxpayers' money. He's staying at the White House 5 days a week, and he's going golfing. Well, enjoy paying for his golfing trips, right? However, I want to give you guys some numbers, okay? Today we're going to talk about Doge, the big lie, the Democrats' big lie, and I want to tell you my analyzation so it gets out there, because I want everyone that views this to view this as real information, and it's not sugarcoating the Democrats or the Republicans' agenda. Okay, so I'm neutral, but even Miss Zoe knows I'm neutral, but I do think both parties are useless. So instead of sitting around and listening to the big lie perpetrated by the Republican side, and then listening to the big lie on the Democratic side, I'm going to basically be neutral and say, if you want to look at what is wrong in this country, by the way, do not attack me in any way, shape, or form. I may be under the transgendered umbrella, but I do not want to be targeted for any sort of reason, because I'm here to give you facts. Now, if you redneck goons think I'm stupid, feel free to take a walk off a short pier and move along, okay? A long walk off a short pier. Now, if you're here to see my info, let's do this. So, when I did the analyzation of both the House and Senate bill, I looked up keywords for all of you. Remember, I did a lot of stimulus videos. Keywords. That is HUD, Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare cuts, VA cuts. Here's what I have found to be truthful, running it through two types of AI, Gemini and Microsoft Copilot. Truth is, truth hurts. When you got the Republicans sitting there basically turning around and can't do their job because they are being attacked by Democrats. Democrats are mobilizing. They're going after Tesla. Well, that's their opinion. To me, I don't condone violence. But point is you got all these people saying, in the Democratic Party, if they touch Social Security, we're going to be arming and dragging him out of the White House. Good for you. But I don't think he's going to touch Social Security. He can't. It's in a trust fund. Medicare, apparently that's in a trust fund too. I haven't confirmed that, but, you know, I heard. But Social Security is in a trust fund. SSI, it's under the general fund. So if he wants to axe 7.5 million people on SSI, feel free to. Yeah. I mean, literally, the lowest of the lowest poor people are on SSI. And by the way, right now, he's axed 7,000 Social Security employees, supposedly. That means Social Security is going to be delayed. Which, rumor has it, he wants to also, apparently, allegedly, okay, I'm using the word allegedly, wants to axe the administrative law judges. It's fine by me, I don't care. Administrative law judges either do Social Security or food stamps or Medicaid determinations. Getting rid of them, maybe that is fraud, waste, and abuse in my opinion, but guess what? The other thing I think is really good is he's sitting there and he's looking at fraud, waste, and abuse. All right, let's look at fraud, waste, and abuse. Fraud, waste, and abuse. So, the numbers. For it comes to fraud, waste, and abuse. When I looked up the House and Senate bill of veterans money, veterans are fully covered. Listen to me. That's fully covered. The thing is, they removed the extra funding for burn pits and for Agent Orange and other chemical disasters. Why? Because that was put in as a separate bill, which means they were double dipping. They're like, oh, we're covering everything in the VA, but we have these separate bills. There's $90 billion right there that could be cut from the budget, and they did. $90 billion because they were double dipping. Now you're like, oh, wait a minute, Social Security. Social Security is a trust fund. It's not in the budget. So they cut 7,000 workers. Maybe Social Security will be slowed down. But they also have everyone's information, supposedly, from Elon Musk. We won't go there yet because I'm here to tell you my numbers, okay? 2, and I'm going to say I love this one to a passion. 2 is, when it comes to the housing is maintained certain funding. They cut 2 programs in HUD, but it isn't significant. And besides, with a housing crisis, unless they're willing to go out and spend approximately, say, $250 to $500 billion just to standardize and subsidize bigger housing and skyscrapers in, say, Seattle or Portland or California or Detroit or wherever, every year that would standardize the housing situation. But there is no money. You can't just keep giving money to things. I mean, look, if you really want to sit there, you can always ask SSI. I mean, it's a general fund thing. SSI is not on a trust. People don't know that. I've known it for years, okay? Now, the problem is a lot of people said, oh, he's going to be cutting Medicare. There's nothing in the bill about Medicare. There's nothing in the bill of Social Security. And there's not a damn thing about cutting, except for waste, abuse, and fraud for basically the VA on double dipping. If you look at the damn programs that the Democratic Party has lied to you about, people, they have double dipping standards. They'll make a bill. Let's just say Brother Higgins, for example, they put in a Higgins fund, a Higgins slush fund, which pays him. He gets SSI, but then there's a Higgins trust fund. Then there's another trust fund. And then there's the Higgins mom's trust fund, the Higgins dad's trust fund, and the Higgins brother trust fund. And you see, and it all goes into the Higgins fund. So Higgins may have like 6 accounts going directly to the Higgins, for example. You see where I'm saying it? So what they're doing is they're like, we're going to give Higgins $967 like every other person. By the way, the number is, it's about 7.3 or $7.4 billion, I think it is, give or take. I think it might be roughly. But anyways, the average yearly cost of SSI is approximately, currently for 2025, is $84 billion. So when you sit there and you hear all these people saying, oh, you know, Donald Trump could cut SSI out completely, throw him under the bus. Why? Then all you got to do is look at the numbers of food stamp recipients. Oh, yeah, put work requirements on. Yeah. Oh, well, I can't work because I can't walk. Oh, good for you. Can't walk, okay? But the thing is people that get money like SSI, they're basically sitting there being like, I get SSI, I get $400 in food stamps, or $250 or $300 or whatever. Then they say, oh, I got my medical. Thing is the only thing they don't cover on Medicaid, last time I checked, was hearing aids, vision, and dental. Now, they did return vision, hearing aids, I don't know, and dental, well, I don't know, okay? But you have to have special plans within plans, and most doctors, the reason they want to axe Medicaid completely is the doctors are tired of getting crapped on lower pricing. I mean, literally, a lot of other world countries have universal health care. Their health care is better than Americans, but guess what? Americans is a different cut of cloth, okay? So, you have $84 billion you can just cut right off of SSI and put it in. That's $84 billion a year. 10 years, that's $840 billion. Or, yeah, 10 years. So in 20 years, you could get rid of $2 trillion. See? And yet, if you want to do it, the next major spending problem is food stamps. Now, a lot of you are, oh, they're going to cut food stamps. Actually, the food stamps is actually allocated really weird, okay? Now, I looked into the budget bill. They allocated like $7.9 billion to WIC programs. WIC. The old folks, the old geezers and biddies, they get like $425 million in food stamps. Yeah, so technically when you break down the cost of food and the disabled, point is you all sit there and you say, oh, well, you know, the thing is you guys are sitting there, the mandatory spending, right? It's food stamps. I mean, look, you sit there and I've gotten a lot of emails. By the way, I finally opened up my email to my San Juan Island Prepper, AOL, and Yahoo. Thanks for the emails. One person asked me, why haven't I made videos? Well, I'll get to that later. Point is, you can cut SSI out. It's in the general fund. That's, that would save a lot of funding right there. Oh, then people will say, don't give the Republicans the article. Yeah, I am. I'm giving the Republicans an idea. Cut SSI and cut food stamps. Now, when it comes to Medicaid, oh, they're going to cut $880 billion. Really? Here's where the fucking big lie comes into play. This year on the budget bill, they only axed $8 billion off of fucking Medicaid. $8 billion. Not $880 billion. $8 billion. So, while you guys sit there and you sit there, I'm going to give you some bit of advice as preppers, okay? Keep on prepping. We're not out of the woods yet, okay? Now, a lot of you out there, you may see in the next few months things change. Like you will get a bit away with firing people. And by the way, I do support firing administrative law judges. They're pretty useless. They only have two jobs. They either agree or disagree to food stamps and Medicaid and SSI claims and Social Security disability claims. Just axe it. Why are we paying for these guys to do a job which some guy higher up who make $200,000 can look at a case and say, oh, we're canning this person because, I mean, think about it. The problem is you could axe $84 billion off the top for SSI. No one would give a shit. You could axe food stamps. I mean, someone said, oh, well, you just want to get rid of food stamps. I told Sister Zoe once, a long time ago, that I only get $23 a month, so it wouldn't affect me at all. And my flip phone, if I have to pay it out of my own pocket, it's $15. You think I don't care? No, I don't. I mean, literally. The thing is, the American people are tired. Here's the problem with the American people that voted. You got some jackass going, oh, I'm a Trumper. He won't touch my Social Security. Okay, let's just say he does. Then what? You're going to sit there and cry, oh, I don't have Social Security because he took it. Thing is, he's not going to take it. Not yet, I don't think. Problem is, you guys are in panic mode. This is why I keep telling you guys to keep prepping. You know, when Tildor was around, he's like, oh, the Black Swan event's coming. Yeah, well, the Black Swan event's coming. And right now, look at the stock market. You got tariffs. You got damn tariffs. No one can afford anything. Now, granted, yeah. So, you know, and if, Brother Higgins, if you're watching this video, I'm not literally saying they should gut SSI. I'm just saying they can cut it right off the top because, well, it's in the general fund. It's not protected. Well, food stamps ain't protected either, people. And by the way, they did cut and choose some of the food stamp cutouts by basically getting rid of some of the food pantry things. People are learning that a lot of the food from food banks are expired. That's how you get food pantries still in business. Expired food. Now, you guys are sitting there. You're saying, okay, so they were double dipping in VA. That's fixed. They were not cutting Medicaid. That's only $8 billion off the top for the year till 2025 is September 30th. They didn't touch Medicare or Medicaid or Social Security. Yeah. Yeah, think about it. I looked it up for you through AI. I know the numbers better than most people. I did the research, but I'm tired of the fucking Republican big fucking lie. No offense to anyone. Why? Because the Democratic Party's fucking lying. They're saying, oh, they're going to cut $880 billion. And every left-wing media outlet is deceiving for clicks. I come here today, not as someone who wants to expand my base to get to 1,000 subscribers, but to ask you to trust me, to look at the numbers. You're looking at numbers that's unforeseen. $8 billion kept for Medicaid, not $880 billion. Donald Trump ain't a moron. If he alienates his entire redneck goon base, they're going to turn on him. If he takes away Social Security, they're going to turn on him. Now, I don't know if 7.5 million armed people with that on SSI will, but you get the damn point, people. The point is you got to look at it from a point of view. Now, I live on a tourist town. You think the tariffs and the job cuts and everything else is going to fund tourism? No. It's going to basically show a quiet year, maybe 2 years until tariffs are gone or whatnot. But thing is, tariffs you paid for. Yeah, people are learning that through AI and Google searches. The companies don't pay it. You pay it in the consumer financials. Yeah. So, think about it from this point of view. All these people sitting there talking about Donald Trump doing bad. Really? Really? That's funny because every day I see Donald Trump doing something, it's like, oh, he's gone to the golf course on the weekend. Doesn't matter to me. Yet, people are like, oh, he's spending so much money, we could put it towards the poor. Well, if you want to complain about him golfing every damn weekend, then take it up with your representatives. But I think the representatives are fucking useless. Yeah, they make the big lie. Oh, $880 billion is going to be cut. Oh, he's going to cut $700 billion in food stamps. Well, if he wants to cut $700 billion in food stamps, well, I don't. That's fine. By the way, it's more like over $1 trillion. And you say, oh, well, how can it be $1 trillion he could cut every year? Simple. You get rid of the food stamps. You also get rid of the average government spend. Hold on, let me look this up real quick. You're probably thinking, uh-oh. So the average, I don't use this. Oh, crap. Let's just close this out. I don't want that. Okay, so the average, here we go. The average government cell phone is $15 a month, right? Times that by 72 million people on Medicaid. That is 1,080,000,000. 1,080,000,000. Here's the numbers, by the way, right there for your phone bill. 1,080,000,000. You can just cut out the phone service. Anyone who can't buy a phone, well, not my problem. Why? Because if I can sit and spend, if I have to pay $65 for my phone, then you surely should be paying fucking $15 for your damn phone. I mean, why should we be paying for it? Oh, by the way, the other thing that people complain about is other finances, okay? Let me just tell you the other finances here, okay? A lot of people say, oh, Rita, you're turning against your people. No, I'm not. I'm just telling the government how they can do their damn job. I do spreadsheets more than most people. You can axe the cell phone bill. You can axe the internet program. You can axe the lifeline. Oh, well, we need lifeline. Really? Really? So, the American people, let me tell you what I've talked to. The American redneck Republican goons, okay? They've been nice to me. They don't care who I am. They don't want to be rammed down their schools. They think it's wrong, but guess what? When I have a conversation with them, it comes like this. They're like, how can we cut costs? Simple. When you turn around, now, everyone knows I support people being themselves, okay? The trans community can be yourself all you want, okay? But the Republicans out here have key factors that they're understandably unhappy about. And the big lie is the Democrats are saying, oh, well, a man cuts off his wiener, he's a woman. Really? If the DNA is male, then the DNA is male. Okay, now, I'm not going to sit there and argue about trans rights. That's not my argument today. My argument is the big lie The Democrats are sitting there saying that when you basically turn around and literally say they're going to be gutted coming from Medicaid, the budget bill says it's $8 billion. People need to wake up. You can still be yourself. People can be themselves. They say, oh, he took away our passports. Yeah, until you have to renew it. And then, they're like, oh, my Social Security number's connected to Social Security as female. Until Elon Musk goes into the computer and reprograms it all male. The data that he's acquired tells people who had their gender markers changed and everything. But that's not why I'm here today. My point is the Democrats are fucking lying. And I'm tired of fucking sitting there hearing people say they voted no for cloture when basically they're trying to drum up support for the Republican Party to basically eat dirt on the midterms. Okay, so let's just say the midterms is flipped blue. That's fine and dandy, right? But then you still got a Republican president. Okay, cool, right? They may basically do things. They may try to impeach him again. They may do this or that. But I am tired of the Democratic lies that they're saying $880 billion has been cut from Medicaid. Where's the facts? I've ran through every AI for days. It's fake. 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 Oh, and by the way, they may get their tax cuts, but they need to think smartly. I mean, think about it. How many people out there go to food banks? I do. How many people find out food banks give bad food? I do. How many people get bigger food stamps? Right? Just cut them. If you're on SSI, give them a basic 15-minute medical checkup like Dr. Oz thinks and send them on their way. You need meds? Give them a year's supply of meds and send them away. If it's narcotics, make an appointment every 3 months just for a narco check. Otherwise, leave it alone. The government, the doctors, they don't want to help because they're not getting paid enough money. They think that they need more money to do the job. I mean, look at referrals. They're getting harder and harder to get any referrals for anywhere. Yet, you got to just slog through it and say, oh, well, it's just life. But, $800 billion cut from Medicaid. My ass. $8 billion was cut. Social Security, they can't touch. They won't touch. And when you guys start to learn that they can't touch it, but Donald Trump can't cut food stamps. Well, I only get $23 a month, so if he cut all food stamps out for everyone, wouldn't matter to me. You guys got the food bank. Oh, the food bank would be cut. Unless people started donating generously to food banks like churches, food banks would not be in business. Why? Because the government supports it. Now, before you sit here and say I'm doing a Democratic rant, Democrats are for the poor people. That's true. Fortunately, the Democrats have been lying through the teeth for years. That's a problem. I may have severe heart disease. I have nitro. But I'm basically sitting here analyzing things for you, the Democrats, for you, the Republicans, for you, the independents. I'm throwing you a bone. I'm throwing you a lifeline. Start using AI tools. Start finding the truth out for yourself before it's too late. Because right now you got two jobs. Donald Trump's unpredictability and prepping. Point is, I don't think he's going to touch Medicaid. I don't think he's going to touch Medicare. But I do see these people sitting there saying the bigger cost of expenses is, as Elon Musk said, is the entitlements. Now, Social Security is not an entitlement. You pay into it, you get your Social Security. That's how I see it. You paid into it. Now, SSI, you can throw that every SSI recipient under the bus. It wouldn't matter. And they lived in a tent. Why? Because, well, it doesn't matter. The VA didn't cut anything. They just got rid of the waste and spending of the double-dipping standards. That's what the government does. The Democrats come in and say, oh, we need to help with child cancer. We need to do this. We need to do that. I mean, look, you want to sit there and say things, okay. The Democrats, let's talk about the Dems for a minute. They're saying that the CDC, the NIH, all these places were closed. So far, I don't see them closed. They're working behind the scenes. Yeah. There's always a reason what's going on, okay? Now, I'm not a woke person, But I am going to call out bullshit when I hear it. You need to do your own research, people. I mean, literally, that's the whole point of this video today is, I'm not here to shit on anyone on SSI. But if they wanted to touch funding, they could take, like I said, $84 billion off the top of SSI, throw it away. They could get rid of the food stamps program, which would cut out food stamps and the pantry programs for food banks. Why? I mean, literally, a lot of people say, oh, well, we can't make ends meet. Really? Can't make ends meet? I have heart disease severely, so, I'm always having trouble at times. By the way, I have some other health issues that I don't want to talk about. But the thing is you got all these people, right? By the way, you got to ask yourself, the disabled, the elderly, why are they getting shit on, people? You say, oh, they're not getting shit on. Really? WIC. $7.9 billion, give or take. 7.4 to 7.9 is what they get. The elderly only get about $425 million a year. The ones they get very little food stamps, say, in group homes. The other people, I mean, if you took, and by the way, it'd be a little over $2 billion a month, right? So if you take 1.8, so if you go, hold on, if you go 1.8 billion times 12, that's 1.8 billion times 12, that's $21.6 billion annually for a cell phone service. So let's just say 22 billion, right? 22 billion plus 84 billion is $106 billion you could cut out yearly just on 2 programs alone. In 10 years, that's $1 trillion if they really wanted to give tax cuts to the wealthy, which, anyways. And then, what else can you take out? Well, there's many things you can take out, but look at it from my point of view. I mean, I'm not saying go axe at that, but why would the government turn around and basically axe Medicaid? Simple. Doctors don't take Medicaid. More doctors around the country, the more they want to get rid of Medicaid because it's the lowest paid service in existence. So they put in new rules every year. Oh, you need this. You need to have a specialist. But to get the specialist, you have to have a CAT scan, an MRI, an X-rays, this, that, and the other. They're making it harder and harder, for example. So think about it. The numbers are there if you wanted to axe programs. I mean, phone service, food stamps. I mean, what is the budget for food stamps? Well, let's look that up real quick, shall we? Because if you take food stamps, I mean, maybe they don't want to cut food stamps. Maybe they want to cut Medicaid. I mean, literally, but they didn't cut. They did not cut 880 billion food stamps. They cut 8 billion this year. Let's see how. So we're gonna look up the numbers. Oh, son of a stupid bitch! Half the time this thing doesn't want to work. Okay. Alright, so. Son of a fucking bitch, you bastards! I'd be better off on a computer, but I can't use the computer, otherwise the camera would be done. So, hold on a sec. This is a big number here. Alright, so. See, it's stuff like this that you need to know. So, by AI standards, alright, so currently it's about $125 billion a year. Think about it. 125 billion. So you got 125 billion, you got 84 billion, and then you got the other numbers I just gave to you. Yeah, I mean, literally you could just sit there and act 3 programs and be fine and dandy with it. I mean, literally, if you look at the numbers, I mean, a lot of it is basically, people say, well, I'm entitled to food stamps. You're not. You're not. Food stamps is a bonus program. You paid into Social Security, you get Social Security. SSI is for the lower working people that don't have the credits for work credits to continue. And then, you got all these dumbasses saying stuff like, oh, well, Social Security, I paid into it, it's mine. Really? Under certain rules and regulations, the government can change the rules at any given time. So think about it. Now, some people are grandfathered in, some people aren't. But my point is look at the numbers. I mean, if you look at the number, right? We did the number. The number was... So, right here is, let's see, oh yeah, hold on. The number was $1.8 billion a month for phone service. That's $22 billion a year. So $22 billion minimum for food, for being on food stamps, just to get a free phone. That's $22 billion. Now, if you take, what was it we were talking about? Okay, so you take $22 billion plus $84 billion plus $125 billion, that's $231 billion. That's $250 million a year and money that people can sit there and say. And this is why I said that you guys need to prep for the worst. Because if something happens and he decides to axe SSI, oh, well, we'll just transfer to SSDI. Really? Then the SSDI slush fund goes down the toilet fast. I mean, they say we're going to run out by 2027, supposedly, on SSDI. That means anyone on SSDI loses out, supposedly. Then, think about it. So, I want you to do your own research and get back to me. But, I may make another video. But the point is, do you see where I'm going with this? The government does have options. He could axe food stamps. He could axe SSI. And he can axe... Medicaid, and there's the spending cuts that's needed. Why? Well, let's put it this way. Only 7.5 million people are on full Medicaid. The other ones are only on Medicaid if their SSDI doesn't bring them into under a certain level. And when you do get that extra SSDI and your Medicaid, then you turn around, please excuse me while I pull my pants up. It's kind of loose. Then you turn around with the SSI, and basically, you get SSI and Medicaid. So if they turn around and say, oh, but then you hear people say, oh, well, he can't do that because he can do it. By law, he can remove SSI by law because it's not governed like Social Security. He could just sit there and kick 7.6 million off. And then you could say, well, I can't touch my food stamps because I have no income. Yeah, I can, because food stamps is a bonus program. I mean, literally, the food stamp program was a bonus program. Yeah. And with the people these days getting less and less money for food stamps, most people realize, like myself, $23, is it worth it? Yeah, I can get what? I can get 6 gallons of milk at Costco. That's it. 6 gallons. That's 6 gallons more than I have, but that's it. While everyone else says, oh yeah, I got $350 food stamp. And they're dipping. I gave up 2 because, it's expensive. Yet, there's a lot of people out there relying on benefits. And they literally need to prep because if it gets taken away, you only have yourself to blame because you think, Uncle Sam won't touch your benefits. But it's okay if you want to take a liberal's benefits or an elderly benefit. Now, a lot of you say, well, he can't touch Social Security. Here's the reason he can't touch Social Security. It's in a trust fund. But what if I told you that if you came after anyone's Social Security, there's a lot of armed elderly that would fucking take up the mantle and drag the guy out of the office who took their Social Security away. Yeah, it could be. They could drag 80 million people overpowering Donald Trump or Elon Musk. Wouldn't matter to me. Think they've never thought about it. And by the way, if you think, oh, well, he'll just declare martial law. You can't declare martial law when there's 1,050,500 active duty members and between 736 and 796,000 reservists and like 50 to 100,000 National Guardists. That would leave us with about 300 and out of 340 million, hypothetically, that would leave us with 334 to 335 million citizens that can overwhelm the United States government. So nope, not gonna happen. You guys are all sitting, well, you can arm yourself, you can do things. Thing is, martial law is not gonna happen. The problem is, people like you need to realize that it won't happen. Now, if he wants to cut food stamps, Medicaid, and SSI and the cell phone bill to make up the difference, he can do that. That's his priority. The Treasury can cut those out. No ifs, ands, or buts. The Treasury can't touch Social Security. The Treasury can't touch Medicare. So, think about it, people. Back in the day during stimulus checks, people said, well, what happens if they cut Social Security? I said they could put you on the general fund. No, they won't. The general fund will just be bogged down. Think about it. Think about the numbers, okay? Let's just say $967 per person times 72. That is 70 billion. 625. So $70 billion, give or take. So that's $70 billion a month, right? 70 billion. Not 70 million. 700 million. 7 billion. 70 billion times. So that is approximately $70 billion, right? You're looking at about $70 billion a month, right? 70 times 12. That's how we do it. So 70 times 12. That's $840 billion a year on SSI for $967 a month. No, I don't have the numbers for Social Security, but that could work. But if they transferred everyone to SSI, then all they have to do is kick everyone off it, and Social Security's closed. Think about it. They could do that too. But am I giving them ideas? No. I'm just telling you that you guys need to keep on prepping because we're not out of the woods yet. And for some of you out there thinking, well, what else can they do? Well, I don't know what to tell you guys, but an old lady like me is just watching and praying because we're not out of the woods yet. I mean, literally, in the next 3 to 6 months, he could get fired. He could strip SSI. He could strip Medicaid. He could strip food stamps. He could... And then the courts would get involved, and you'd be like, right now, the polls, no one knows who many people are supporting Donald Trump. No one does. They say, 67% of Americans don't like it because of the cost of groceries. A lot of people say, it's Joe Biden's economy that he inherited. I don't care what it is. I'm not going to allow Joe Biden to be blamed. When Donald Trump says, I'm going to do tariffs, and all of a sudden stock market goes, I mean, literally. I mean, for me, you got to ask yourself, are you worried about the stock market? No. Are you worried about the 2 million people he wants to fire? Well, okay, let's talk about that for a second, because I got a lot of emails saying, well, what is going to happen? That's 2 million people that he axes, he gets away with. That gets to go to work and works on burger joints, picking farms. Now, what if 80 million people lose their benefits, right? Half of those people probably can't work, right? They're retired. They can go back to work. So the people that are severely disabled may die. I mean, think about it. Say they go and they axe SSDI, SSR, SSS, SSI, and Brother Higgins turns around and says, I can't work because of... Either he's going to basically have to get off his ass and work, or he's going to have to fall over off a cliff because so many people, I'm using Higgins as an example, can't work. And yet the government doesn't care. They don't. And so The thing is you got to be prepared for the worst. I know nothing's going to happen, but I'm just saying that you need to prepare for the worst no matter what. I mean, think about it. I mean, we're not out of the woods yet. If we get special elections next month and the Democrats get the House at least, you're going to see some real shit shows. I guarantee it. And now, why am I saying all this to you guys today? Simple. I want you to realize that there's a lot of big lies out there. You need to do your own research and analyze it. Because it's not fair to the people of America to sit there and hear that $880 billion is to be cut for food stamps or Medicaid alone when it was $8 billion. Do your own research. I use AI just to analyze the data that's in the House and Senate bill that they leave out there for us to read. It was not a bad bill. And yet, you got all these people saying it was a poison pill to swallow. No, it wasn't. Thing is my father-in-law, though that I love him dearly, he thinks that Mitch McConnell gave to Donald Trump because Donald Trump can declare martial law. I couldn't do martial law. There is no martial law. Martial law can't be governed in this wide space of country. Can't. There's not enough troops. What's he gonna do? Hire 75 million redneck goons around us all up that apparently supposedly own the libs? Come on, man. You know as well as I do, we're all human. It would be like the Democrats sitting there getting back the House and Senate and saying we're going to round up redneck hilljacks and stuff. Those are human beings. We're not rounding up anyone. You got all these people saying, oh, they're going to do this. No, they're not. I mean, look, let me tell you what I see in the world. It's fear. You sit there and you watch left-wing propaganda crap. It's fear. You hear someone say, we have the receipts. Good for you. And then you hear people say, Kash Patel's the director. He's going to round up people and he's going to take away people. Yeah, if you're a Democrat douchebag that wants to listen to that crap, go for it. Point is, here's my thoughts. Most of you damn Americans are too damn stupid and unimportant, like me. Therefore, he's not going to round up people like us. He just doesn't care. Okay? Did you break the law? No. Did the DOJ come and say, oh, we're coming after you because you're weird? They're not. You're not worth the time or their investigation or their money. Thing is, any day that you sit there and you read the news that Kash Patel didn't go raid Joe Blow Moe's house because, well, you know, you're just an average dumbass, then yeah, you're fine. And then you read about Pam Bondi. Oh, we're going to do this and that. Well, why? Are you that important on Pam Bondi's radar to basically be that paranoid? Come on, man. I mean, literally, we are the stupid people if you think that they're going to come after us for what reason. Yeah. You're just a peon. They don't care. Any day you read a news article that does not have Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, Donald Trump, Trump's family, well, yada, 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 or any of his cabinet member, who cares? Oh, he's going to round up the trans people and deport them to Acapulco. Cool, I'll go to Mexico. I mean, think about it. The stupidest stuff I hear all the time. I mean, literally, can't you guys turn around and think clearly before you act? I mean, literally, what's he going to do? Round up all the disabled on SSI? That's what, 7.6 million? Fine, send them off to a poor country where they can be gassed or deathed or whatever. I mean, come on. I'm hearing everything from everywhere. So, my point is, my friends, you guys got to wake up and smell what you're shoveling because God is not going to allow this to happen, okay? And the point is we all make mistakes, okay? Americans made their decision. Now, if you're complaining that prices are high in groceries and you can't get it down in 4 years, this is why you fucking prep. Otherwise, I don't want to hear it. Because I'm tired of the Democratic bullshitting lies. And when you start to wake up your eyes, you'll realize that there's a lot of people out there realizing that they need to get their head out of their ass and use the tools the government gives you, like AI, or Microsoft or Copilot, or Gemini, aka Bard, to learn and to analyze that there's nothing to worry about. Yeah. Point is the factual numbers are there. That's all I want to say. Now, I'm not against the trans community. I'm not. But when you see a trans woman on YouTube or Instagram, they're like, oh yeah, so I got these nice little boobies and all these guys think I'm turning my boss into gay people. Those are the ones that I see all the time where they get the comments, people want to kick the crap out of them because they look good. Or the rednecks say they shouldn't be looking that good to look that passable, and they're angry. Well, you can be angry, dude. You can be very angry. You can basically sit there and say a man shouldn't cut his wiener off. Fine and dandy, it's your opinion. My opinion is, I feel sorry for a lot of you because you just want to live comfortably without people basically ramming down their own damn opinions. And by the way, just for the argument, for devil's advocate here, I've talked to a lot of people on both sides, okay? Both sides. Side one, the Democrats. Oh, well, if it wasn't for my Medicaid, my cancer, I would die. The other side of the coin, Republicans. Why should we basically work our ass off and give handouts to these freeloaders that have cancer or can't support themselves or can't get a job flipping burgers or can't get 3 jobs to flip burgers and paper route and work their ass off till the day they die? Why do we gotta help them? Think about it. There's 2 sides of the argument there. You got argument side 1, who thinks that these people work their ass off and they don't get anywhere but exuberant debt. Now, let me just say for the record, if people took a minimalistic approach, I don't think we would have consumerism. Now, let me tell you the story about consumerism for a minute. I went to an eye doctor's appointment the other day. I had to get new glasses, right? The doctor was not going to allow me, by the way, he cleaned these up and fixed them, the original ones that you've seen me with. He said, and I quote, that he's cleaning these up to be reading glasses because he believes in consumerism and that he believes I should pay for more newer frames. Think about it. Think about it from a doctor's point of view. You want to use your old frames that are $800 frames. He wants you to buy new frames that cost more money than the $800 frames. You do the math. And yes, I do got new glasses coming. So, think about it from that point of view, my friends. So, I love all of you. You get my point. Point is, if you guys turn around, I mean, look at Brother Higgins. Oh, my computer's 15 years old. I have to poke fun at him. I need a new one. You're doing good in the minimalist job because one day we may not have it. I mean, think about it. I mean, now, mind you, let me tell you a couple stories before I go about prepping. That's right, everyone. I'm going to talk about prepping. I am the Daedric Princess of Madness, Sheogorath, and my realm is the Shivering Isles. Now pay attention here. Purchases that I'm making next month. Mop and bucket. Gotta have a mop and bucket. New vacuum cleaner. Before Brother Higgins calls me and says, oh, you can't buy a vacuum cleaner. That's a frivolous purchase. Chloe took apart my vacuum cleaner and put it back together. I told Chloe's mom this too. Thing caught on fire. Yeah. So, new vacuum cleaner being purchased. Meanwhile, some of the other people are investing next month for me, of course. You guys should say, but that's free. Well, let's just say, apparently the manager doesn't care if I steam clean my carpets once a month or professionally clean it once a year. But the place that I go through that helps him by steam cleaning, they're just going to basically bring me a brand new steam cleaner because they want me to do it myself. Well, there it goes. See? So, another gift that I just got by steam cleaning things. And that is something that I find to be kind of disturbing, but apparently they don't want to pay $300 every 6 months for steam cleaning, so they give me a machine. So I guess it's a benefit to some things, but, you know, and if Zoe's watching, she's probably chuckling about that one thing. I can see that. But anywho, my point is that we're not out of the woods yet. I mean, look, you have a lot to think about, a lot to reflect on tonight. No, you don't need to reflect on me picking on Higgins. That is just brotherly, sisterly love. But honestly, we're not out of the woods yet. He can ask Social Security. He can't. No. He can ask food stamps. He surely hell can. He can ask the cell phone bill and the internet program. He sure hell can. He can ask Medicaid. Yep. That's not protected. And he can ask SSI. Think about it. Those are the programs that he can put on the chopping block tomorrow to get his tax cuts, for example. That apparently they're all spilling right now in the big lie. Yeah, so think about it. If you have any questions or concerns, you may contact me again. And by the way, I will be making another quick video after this one, after I use the restroom, but I do hope you can get and help me get my channel to 1,000, and then we'll go from there. Every little bit helps. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Keep on prepping. Remember to prep like your life depends on it. We're not out of the woods yet. Please add and subscribe. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestion. Hit the like, subscribe buttons. Hold some fun for the family, including the dogs, cats, bunnies, service dogs, service bunnies. Hit the bell notification, thumbs up button, subscribe. And let's get this channel to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, and God bless you and everything you do.